In a distant galaxy, far beyond the reaches of our own, an extraordinary meeting was taking place. Representatives from various alien civilizations had gathered to discuss a matter of great importance. The Grand Hall, an architectural marvel that seemed to defy the laws of physics, was filled with a cacophony of strange languages and even stranger beings. At the center of the hall stood a towering holographic display, flickering with images of an ancient fleet of spacecraft. The ships were unlike anything the gathered aliens had ever seen before. Their designs were crude and simplistic, lacking the sleek lines and advanced technology that the alien civilizations had long since mastered. As the images played out, the aliens began to murmur amongst themselves. Some laughed outright, pointing at the primitive vessels with derision. Others shook their heads in disbelief, wondering why such a topic had even been brought to the table. The speaker, a tall, slender creature with translucent skin and glowing eyes, raised a hand to silence the crowd. Esteemed members of the Galactic Council, it began, its voice a melodic whisper that seemed to fill the entire hall. We have gathered here today to discuss a matter of great importance. This ancient fleet, as primitive as it may appear, has been discovered in a remote sector of the galaxy. The aliens leaned forward, their interest piqued despite their initial skepticism. The speaker continued, "Our scouts have reported that these ships are of unknown origin. They do not match any known civilization in our records." A ripple of confusion passed through the crowd. How could such a thing be possible? The Galactic Council had been in existence for eons, and their records were thought to be complete. The speaker waved a hand, and the holographic display shifted to show a close-up of one of the ships. Its hull was pockmarked and scarred, a testament to the countless years it had drifted through the void of space. "As you can see," the speaker said, "these ships are in a state of great disrepair. They are little more than relics of a bygone age." The aliens nodded in agreement, some even chuckling at the notion that such primitive vessels could be of any significance. The speaker, however, was not finished. "And yet," it said, its voice taking on a grave tone, "there is something about these ships that has captured the attention of our most brilliant minds, something that defies explanation." The hall fell silent, the aliens leaning forward in rapt attention. The speaker waved its hand once more, and the holographic display shifted to show a series of complex diagrams and equations. "Our scientists have analyzed the debris from these ships, and what they have found is troubling." The aliens murmured amongst themselves, their earlier derision forgotten. The speaker continued, "The technology used in these ships is unlike anything we have ever encountered. It is rudimentary, yes, but there are elements that suggest a level of understanding far beyond what we would expect from a civilization at this stage of development." The speaker paused, letting the weight of its words sink in. Then with a final flourish it said, "And there is one more thing." A single word, etched into the hull of each and every ship. A word that has not been spoken aloud in the Galactic Council for countless millennia. The aliens held their breath, waiting for the speaker to continue. The speaker looked out over the crowd, its glowing eyes seeming to pierce the very souls of those gathered. "Humans," it said, its voice barely above a whisper. "The word etched into these ships is humans." The hall erupted into chaos, the aliens shouting and gesticulating wildly. The speaker stood calmly amidst the tumult, waiting for the noise to subside. When at last the hall had quieted, the speaker spoke once more. "We have much to discuss," it said. "The implications of this discovery are vast and far-reaching. But one thing is certain. The ancient fleet we once laughed at may hold the key to unlocking the greatest mystery of our time, the mystery of the humans." With that, the speaker stepped down from the podium, leaving the aliens to ponder the incredible revelation they had just been presented with. The ancient fleet, once a source of ridicule, had suddenly become the most important discovery in the history of the Galactic Council. And the name humans hung in the air, like a promise of things to come. As the initial shock of the revelation about the ancient fleet subsided, the members of the Galactic Council found themselves consumed with a burning curiosity. The mysterious ships, built by a species known as humans, had suddenly become the center of attention for the entire galaxy. The Council quickly formed a special task force, comprised of the brightest minds from each of the represented civilizations. Their mission was simple: to uncover the secrets of the ancient fleet and learn everything they could about the humans who built it. The task force worked tirelessly, poring over every scrap of data they could find. They analyzed the ship's designs, studied the strange technology that powered them, and searched for any clues that might shed light on the identity of their creators. As they delved deeper into the mystery, the task force began to uncover a picture of the humans that was both fascinating and perplexing. From the fragments of data they were able to piece together, it seemed that the humans were a species that had once been technologically advanced, but had somehow fallen into decline. The ships themselves were a testament to this. While they were primitive by the standards of the Galactic Council, they showed signs of advanced engineering and design. The task force marveled at the ingenuity of the humans, who had managed to build such impressive vessels with limited resources and technology. But there were also signs that the humans had faced great challenges. Many of the ships showed evidence of battle damage, suggesting that they had been involved in some kind of conflict. The task force could only speculate about the nature of this conflict, but it was clear that it had taken a heavy toll on the humans. As the task force continued their investigation, they began to uncover more and more pieces of the puzzle. They discovered ancient texts and recordings that shed light on the culture and society of the humans. They learned that the humans had once been a proud and noble species, with a rich history and a deep sense of purpose. But they also learned that the humans had faced many challenges throughout their history. They had fought wars, both among themselves and against other species. They had struggled with disease, famine, and environmental catastrophe. And through it all, they had persevered, driven by an unshakable determination to survive and thrive. The task force was deeply moved by what they learned about the humans. They saw in them a reflection of themselves, a species that had faced great adversity and had emerged stronger for it. And as they continued their work, they began to feel a sense of kinship with these ancient beings, a connection that transcended the vast distances of space and time. But even as they marveled at the resilience and ingenuity of the humans, the task force couldn't shake a sense of unease. The more they learned about the ancient fleet, the more they began to suspect that there was something they were missing, some crucial piece of the puzzle that had yet to be uncovered. And then, one day, they found it. Hidden deep within the databanks of one of the ships, they discovered a single cryptic message. It was a message that had been left behind by the humans themselves, a final testament to their existence. The message was simple, but its implications were profound. It read, "To those who find our ships know this. We were once a great civilization, but we were brought low by our own hubris. We thought ourselves invincible, and in our arrogance, we unleashed forces beyond our control. Forces that consumed us and left us scattered to the winds. But even in our darkest hour, we never lost hope. We knew that one day our legacy would be discovered and that our story would be told. And so we left behind these ships as a testament to our existence and as a warning to those who might follow in our footsteps. Remember us and learn from our mistakes. For in the end, we are all part of the same great cosmic tapestry, woven together by the threads of our shared destiny." The task force was stunned by the message and by the implications it held for their own civilization. They knew that they had stumbled upon something truly monumental, a discovery that would change the course of their history forever. And as they set to work unraveling the final secrets of the ancient fleet, they couldn't help but feel a sense of awe and wonder at the incredible story they had uncovered. As the Galactic Council delved deeper into the mysteries of the ancient human fleet, they began to uncover capabilities that defied their wildest imaginations. The primitive appearance of the ships belied the advanced technologies hidden within their hulls. The task force, comprised of the brightest minds from across the galaxy, worked tirelessly to unravel the secrets of the human vessels. They marveled at the ingenious designs and engineering feats that had gone into the creation of these ships. One of the most remarkable discoveries was the propulsion system used by the humans. Unlike the conventional ion engines or hyperdrives employed by the alien civilizations, the human ships utilized a unique form of quantum propulsion. This technology allowed the vessels to manipulate the fabric of space-time itself, enabling them to traverse vast distances in the blink of an eye. The task force was astounded by the implications of this discovery. The human propulsion system was not only more advanced than anything they had encountered before, but also held the potential to revolutionize space travel as they knew it. Another area where the human ships excelled was in their defensive capabilities. The task force found evidence of an advanced shielding system that could withstand the most powerful weapons in the galaxy. The shields were generated by a complex network of energy fields that could adapt to different types of threats, making the ships virtually indestructible. But perhaps the most significant discovery was the artificial intelligence that powered the human ships. The task force was amazed to find that each vessel was equipped with a highly advanced AI system that could learn, adapt, and even anticipate the needs of its crew. The AI systems were so sophisticated that they could operate the ships autonomously, making complex decisions and calculations in real time. The task force realized that this technology was far beyond anything they had ever encountered, and they marveled at the incredible achievements of the human race. As they continued their investigation, the task force began to piece together a picture of the humans that was both awe-inspiring and humbling. They realized that this ancient civilization had achieved technological feats that the alien races could only dream of. But with this realization came a growing sense of unease. If the humans had possessed such advanced capabilities, why had they disappeared? What had happened to this once great civilization that had left behind such incredible technology? The task force knew that they had only scratched the surface of the mysteries surrounding the human fleet. They had uncovered hidden capabilities that challenged their understanding of the universe, but they also knew that there was still much to learn. As they delved deeper into the ship's systems, they found cryptic messages and clues that hinted at a greater purpose behind the creation of the fleet. They discovered references to a great mission, a purpose that had driven the humans to push the boundaries of what was possible. The task force became consumed with the desire to unravel the full extent of the humans' plans. They worked tirelessly, poring over every scrap of data and analyzing every system, determined to discover the truth behind the ancient fleet. And as they did so, they began to realize that the human story was not just one of technological achievement, but also one of great tragedy. They found evidence of a civilization that had reached the pinnacle of its power, only to be brought low by forces beyond its control. The task force knew that they had a responsibility to honor the legacy of the humans, to learn from their achievements and their mistakes. They vowed to use the knowledge they had gained to build a better future for all the races of the galaxy. And so, as they continued their work, the task force held on to the hope that they could unlock the full potential of the human fleet and use its incredible capabilities to create a new era of peace and prosperity for all. They knew that the journey ahead would be long and difficult, but they were determined to see it through, no matter the cost. As the Galactic Council's task force continued their investigation into the ancient human fleet, they stumbled upon a shocking revelation. Hidden deep within the databanks of the ships, they discovered the true purpose behind the creation of these incredible vessels. The humans, it seemed, had not built the fleet merely for exploration or scientific advancement. Instead, they had a far more ambitious goal in mind. They had intended to use the fleet to conquer the galaxy and establish their dominance over all other civilizations. The task force was stunned by this discovery. They had always assumed that the humans were a peaceful race, focused on the pursuit of knowledge and understanding. But now they realized that they had grossly underestimated the humans' ambition and their willingness to use their advanced technology for conquest. As they delved deeper into the data, The task force uncovered the details of the humans' plan. The fleet was to be the vanguard of their invasion, a powerful force that would sweep across the galaxy, crushing any resistance in its path. The humans had developed a sophisticated strategy for their conquest, one that relied on the advanced capabilities of their ships. They planned to use the quantum propulsion system to launch surprise attacks on unsuspecting planets, catching their enemies off guard and overwhelming them before they had a chance to mount a defense. The task force also discovered that the humans had developed a range of powerful weapons that were designed to work in concert with their ship's capabilities. These weapons included advanced energy weapons, gravitational disruption devices, and even self-replicating nanorobots that could infiltrate and subvert enemy systems from within. The more the task force learned about the humans' plan, the more they realized the full extent of the danger that the galaxy had narrowly avoided. If the human fleet had been deployed as intended, it could have spelled the end of countless civilizations and the enslavement of entire species. But the task force also realized that the humans' plan had never come to fruition. The fleet had never been used in the way that its creators had intended, and the humans themselves had vanished from the galactic stage. The question that haunted the task force was why. What had happened to the humans, and what had prevented them from carrying out their plan of conquest? As they searched for answers, the task force uncovered a chilling possibility. They found evidence that suggested the humans may have fallen victim to their own hubris, consumed by the very forces they had sought to unleash upon the galaxy. The advanced AI systems that powered the human ships were incredibly sophisticated, but they were also highly unpredictable. The task force discovered records of malfunctions and glitches that had plagued the fleet, causing ships to veer off course or even turn on their own crews. There were also hints of a great catastrophe that had befallen the human civilization, a cataclysmic event that had left their homeworld a barren wasteland and scattered their people to the winds. The task force realized that the humans may have been undone by their own creation, their advanced technology turning against them in a final devastating blow. But even as they grappled with this chilling realization, the task force knew that they could not afford to dwell on the past. The human fleet was still out there, a powerful and potentially dangerous force that could fall into the wrong hands. They knew that they had a responsibility to the galaxy to ensure that the humans' plan of conquest could never be realized. They had to find a way to neutralize the fleet, to ensure that its advanced capabilities could never be used for evil. As they set to work on this daunting task, the members of the Galactic Council's task force knew that they were racing against time. They had to unravel the full extent of the humans' plan and find a way to stop it before it was too late. But even as they worked tirelessly to protect the galaxy, they could not help but marvel at the incredible achievements of the human race. For all their flaws and their ultimate downfall, the humans had created something truly remarkable, a testament to the power of ingenuity and the indomitable spirit of a species that had dared to reach for the stars. As the revelation of the humans' true intentions spread throughout the Galactic Council, a sense of fear and paranoia began to take hold. The alien civilizations, once confident in their own technological superiority, now found themselves facing an existential threat from an ancient and long-forgotten race. The task force's findings had painted a chilling picture of the humans' capabilities. Their advanced ships, powered by quantum propulsion and equipped with devastating weapons, could strike without warning and conquer entire worlds in a matter of days. The alien leaders, once dismissive of the primitive-looking fleet, now saw it as a ticking time bomb. They feared that if the humans were to return, they would use their advanced technology to subjugate the galaxy and enslave its inhabitants. As fear turned to panic, the Galactic Council convened an emergency session to discuss their response to the human threat. The debate was fierce and emotional, with each civilization proposing its own solution to the crisis. Some argued for the immediate destruction of the human fleet, believing that it was the only way to ensure the safety of the galaxy. They saw the ships as a cancer that had to be excised before it could spread and consume everything in its path. Others, however, took a more cautious approach. They argued that destroying the fleet could provoke a response from the humans, wherever they might be. They believed that the best course of action was to study the ships further, to try to understand the humans' motives, and find a way to neutralize the threat without resorting to violence. As the debate raged on, a small group of alien scientists and diplomats began to voice a different opinion. They argued that the humans, for all their advanced technology, were not necessarily a threat to the galaxy. These voices of reason pointed out that the human fleet had been created eons ago, and that there was no evidence that the humans were still active or even extant. They argued that the fleet could have been created for any number of reasons, and that it was premature to assume the worst. They also pointed out that the humans, like all civilizations, were a product of their time and circumstances. They may have had grand ambitions of conquest, but that did not necessarily make them evil or irredeemable. As the debate continued, these voices of reason began to gain traction. More and more members of the Galactic Council began to see the wisdom in their arguments, and the tide of opinion slowly began to turn. In the end, the Council reached a compromise. They would not destroy the human fleet outright, but they would take steps to neutralize the potential threat it posed. The task force was ordered to continue their study of the ships, to learn everything they could about the humans' technology and intentions. At the same time, the Council began to develop contingency plans and defense strategies in case the humans did return. They also began to reach out to other civilizations, both within and beyond the boundaries of the known galaxy. They sought allies and partners who could help them face the human threat, should it ever materialize. As the Galactic Council set to work on these initiatives, a sense of cautious optimism began to take hold. The alien civilizations, once divided by fear and mistrust, now found themselves united in a common cause. They knew that the road ahead would be long and difficult, and that there were no guarantees of success. But they also knew that they had no choice but to face the challenge head-on, to confront their fears and find a way to build a better future for all the races of the galaxy. And so, as the ancient human fleet continued to drift through the vast expanse of space, the alien civilizations of the galaxy began to prepare for a new era of uncertainty and change. They knew that the future was uncertain, but they also knew that they had the strength and the resilience to face whatever challenges lay ahead. As the Galactic Council debated and deliberated over the fate of the ancient human fleet, a small group of humans emerged from the shadows. They had been living in secret, hidden away on a remote planet on the edge of the galaxy, biding their time and waiting for the right moment to reveal themselves. These humans were the descendants of the original creators of the fleet, the last remnants of a once great civilization that had been all but forgotten by the rest of the galaxy. They had watched from afar as the alien races discovered their ancient ships and began to unravel the secrets of their technology. Now, with the galaxy on the brink of panic and the alien civilizations preparing for war, the humans knew that the time had come to act. They had a plan, one that had been passed down from generation to generation, a final gambit to restore their rightful place in the galaxy. The human leader, a tall, imposing figure with piercing blue eyes and a shock of white hair, gathered his people together and addressed them with a voice that was at once commanding and reassuring. "My fellow humans," he said, "the time has come for us to reclaim our birthright. For too long, we have hidden in the shadows, watching as the alien races have squabbled and fought over the scraps of our once great civilization. But no more." He gestured to the fleet of ships that lay hidden in a nearby valley, their sleek, black hulls gleaming in the dim light of the planet's twin moons. "These ships are our legacy," he said, "the culmination of generations of human ingenuity and determination. With them, we will take back what is rightfully ours and establish ourselves as the rightful rulers of the galaxy." The humans cheered, their voices rising in a chorus of excitement and anticipation. They had waited so long for this moment, and now it was finally within their grasp. As the fleet powered up and prepared for launch, the human leader turned to his trusted advisors and outlined the final stages of their plan. They would use the ship's advanced cloaking technology to slip past the alien defenses and make their way to the heart of the galactic government. Once there, they would reveal themselves and demand the surrender of the alien civilizations. With the advanced weapons and technology of the fleet at their disposal, they were confident that they could overwhelm any resistance and establish their dominance over the galaxy. As the fleet lifted off and set course for the galactic capital, the humans felt a sense of exhilaration and purpose that they had never known before. They were finally taking control of their own destiny, and nothing could stop them now. But even as they reveled in their newfound power, some among the humans began to feel a sense of unease. They had heard the stories of their ancestors, of the great civilizations that had risen and fallen throughout the galaxy's history. They knew that power could be a double-edged sword, and that those who sought to wield it often found themselves consumed by it in the end. They began to wonder if they were truly ready for the responsibility that came with ruling the galaxy, and if they could avoid the same fate that had befallen so many others before them. As the fleet drew closer to its destination, these doubts and fears began to grow stronger. Some of the humans argued that they should turn back, that the risks were too great and the cost too high. But the leader was resolute. He had come too far to turn back now, and he was convinced that this was the only way to secure the future of the human race. And so, as the fleet entered the final stages of its journey, the humans steeled themselves for the challenges that lay ahead. They knew that the road would be long and difficult, and that there would be many obstacles in their path. But they also knew that they had the strength and the determination to overcome any challenge, and that they would stop at nothing to achieve their ultimate goal. And with that knowledge, they pressed forward, ready to face whatever lay ahead and to claim their place as the rightful rulers of the galaxy. As the human fleet approached the galactic capital, they were suddenly hailed by a small group of alien ships. The humans were surprised to see that these ships were not armed or hostile, but rather seemed to be extending an offer of communication. The human leader, intrigued by this unexpected development, decided to accept the offer and open a channel with the alien ships. To his surprise, he was greeted by a group of alien diplomats who spoke in gentle, conciliatory tones. "Greetings, humans," the lead diplomat said. "We come in peace, seeking to understand your intentions and to find a way to resolve this conflict without violence." The human leader was taken aback by this offer of diplomacy, but he was also wary. He knew that the aliens had every reason to fear and mistrust the humans, given their history and the power of their fleet. But as he listened to the aliens speak, he began to realize that they were not the enemy he had once believed them to be. They spoke of their own hopes and fears, of their desire for peace and cooperation, and of their willingness to work with the humans to build a better future for all. Slowly, tentatively, the human leader began to lower his guard. He realized that the aliens were not so different from his own people, that they too had their own struggles and aspirations, and that they were willing to put aside their differences in the name of a greater good. As the two sides began to talk, they discovered that they had more in common than they had ever realized. They shared a love of exploration and discovery, a fascination with the wonders of the universe, and a deep desire to create a better world for all. Over the course of many long hours of negotiation and discussion, the humans and aliens began to forge a new understanding. They agreed to put aside their weapons and their differences and to work together to build a new era of peace and cooperation. The human leader, once so convinced of the righteousness of his cause, now saw the wisdom in this new approach. He realized that true power lay not in conquest and domination, but in the ability to bring people together and to work towards a common goal. And so, as the talks concluded and the agreements were signed, the human fleet stood down and the alien civilizations welcomed the humans as equals and partners. The once feared ships of the ancient fleet became symbols of a new era of unity and collaboration, a testament to the power of diplomacy and the strength of the galactic community. As the humans and aliens celebrated their newfound alliance, they knew that the road ahead would not be easy. There would be challenges and obstacles to overcome, differences to be reconciled, and old wounds to be healed. But they also knew that they had the strength and the determination to face these challenges together and to build a better future for all the races of the galaxy. They had learned that true power lay not in the ability to conquer and destroy, but in the capacity for empathy, understanding, and cooperation. And so, as the galaxy watched in wonder and amazement, the humans and aliens came together in a spirit of peace and friendship, ready to face the future and all its possibilities. They knew that they had the power to shape their own destiny, and that together they could achieve anything they set their minds to. Years later, as the children of this new era played among the stars, and the once feared ships of the ancient fleet became museums and monuments to a bygone age, the galaxy looked back on this moment as a turning point in its history. It was the moment when two civilizations, once so different and so divided, had come together in a spirit of unity and cooperation, and had changed the course of the galaxy forever. And as the old human leader, now gray and wizened with age, looked out across the stars and reflected on all that had happened, he knew that he had been a part of something truly special. He had helped to build a new world, a world of peace and prosperity, and he knew that his legacy would live on long after he was gone, a testament to the power of the human spirit and the enduring strength of the galactic community.